So Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, it's back, it's hot off the press once more, we're talking about it. Why? Because Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, whoever, it doesn't matter, are admitting more and more fault with their story that they were trying to tell. Now you might hear that statement and go, what are you talking about? Well, at the end of the day, if your film requires a lot, or even some, external media and external stories to fill in the gaps, then it's failed on, well, fundamentally just a narrative level. So you can agree or disagree with that statement, it's fine, but that's what I firmly believe. And the fact that they're going to such lengths to fill in the plot of the Emperor, which you'd think was self-explanatory in the movie, they could have it self-explanatory in the movie, but they chose to just leave out, comments here and there. They failed. They've massively failed. The novelisation had some advanced copies distributed recently, so of course they found their way online, people are talking about it, and it's all about the Emperor. There has been some other bits and pieces to do with Kylo Ren and Rey's kiss. That has apparently riled some people up. I don't care about that nonsense. Really, that's just pathetic, childish, grow up. It's almost like the new teen boy bands that these weird people are focused on. It's very strange. But anyway, yeah, so we've got two things to talk about today. The novelisation reveals the Emperor's final moments in Return of the Jedi. We just thought he died, but no, okay, there's more. And we also have revealed, not only we know that he's a clone now, but we also know who Rey's father is. Yeah, you're going to like this one. No, spoiler alert, you're not. You're really not. So let's get into it, shall we? So Darth Vader obviously killed Emperor Palpatine, or you thought he killed him at the end of Return of the Jedi, threw him down the ventilation port, the exhaust port on the Death Star, and, blew up into a billion pieces, but apparently not. So the excerpt is as follows. This is as he throws him off. So he's thrown him off, and it goes falling down a massive shaft. The betrayal sharp and stinging. A figure high above, black-clad and helmeted, and shrinking fast. His very own apprentice had turned against him, the way he himself had turned against Plagueis, whose secret to immortality he had stolen. Alright. Plagueis had not acted fast enough in his own moment of death, but Sidious, sensing the flickering light in his apprentice, had been ready for years. So the dying Emperor called on all the dark power of the Force to thrust his consciousness far, far away to a secret place that he had been preparing. His body was dead, an empty vessel, long before it found the bottom of the shaft, and his mind jolted to a new awareness in a new body, a painful one, a temporary one. Although the Emperor had planned on Vader's inevitable betrayal, the moment arrived sooner than expected. The secret place had not completed its preparations, the transfer was imperfect, and the cloned body wasn't enough. Perhaps Plagueis was having the last laugh after all. Maybe his secret remained secret, because Palpatine was trapped in a broken, dying form. So basically, now you'd hear that and you'd go, okay, that makes sense. It's kind of what is expected, I guess, to some degree. Now, the other bit of news actually goes against this. So, bearing in mind, remember, he's been thrust into a cloned body of himself. Well, why did you clone yourself as an old man? Give yourself a younger body. Why didn't you just do that? That's super dumb. That's common sense, isn't it? Why would he appear old and decrepit? Anyway, super dumb. You've got all the money, all the power in the world, right? He's got all the resources in the universe, the galaxy, and his body is old. Why? Why would you do that? Anyway, and I'm sure they'll just hand wave it away with nonsense like, well, the dark side of the Force destroyed it when he got in it. And it's like, well, that's nonsense anyway, but whatever. So he's in a broken, dying form, okay? Well, guess what? Rey's father was actually Palpatine. Yes, ladies and gents. Rey is not the granddaughter. It's the daughter. Fuck me. So anyway, check this out. Well, he didn't. In the Rise of Skywalker's novelisation, it's revealed that the heretics of the Sith Eternal spent years trying to create a new body for the Emperor, but none of them could hold his power. However, one genetic strand cast lived, thrived even, a not quite identical clone, his son. So he had, like, that shriveled maggot hadn't been getting jiggy with anyone. He just cloned himself. Now, and it continues, it says, but he was a useless, powerful failure. Palpatine could not even bear to look upon such disappointing ordinariness. The boy's only worth could lay in continuing the bloodline through more natural methods. So, okay, well, now, the problem with this is, right, is that now it calls into question so many different things that we've had going on in all of this. Who the hell is Snoke? Who is Snoke? Because he's pickled Snoke merch, by the way, down below in the description box. Check it out and underneath the video. Because there were just jars of pickled Snoke everywhere. Now, if he's a clone of a Snoke, what is a Snoke? How was the Emperor controlling him if he was Snoke? Do you see how that doesn't make sense? And then, and I know I'm trying to make sense of a film which doesn't make sense. I know, I appreciate that, and it's total garbage. But if Palpatine had cloned himself, and they're just vessels for him, why does one have a spirit, like a soul? Because that's what they're saying. In this universe, there are souls. That's fundamentally what they're saying here. If Palpatine can just go out of his body and into a cloned body that he'd been preparing, that's his soul, isn't it? Right? That is just a roundabout way of saying he removed his soul from his body and he just put it into another one. So why does one body not have a soul and the other does? Because his cloned son, not quite identical clone? Why was it not quite identical clone? Why? What was the genetic material? Did they splice it with another being? Like, that doesn't make... Why would they do that? And if that's the case, is that the reason why it had a new soul? Because it was sort of like him, but sort of not? So it had a bit of his soul? And if it is, can you clone the soul? Do you see? Do you see how fundamentally trying to fill in these gaps, they are just sodomizing themselves? Because they're showing everyone that they don't understand the world that they've created or the story that they've created. Because I'm just picking it apart right now, and I'm not even spending that long on it. Fundamentally, they know they failed. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So basically, Rey is... It's not... Palpatine's her father. And apparent grandfather. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why is one of them young? Because I think we see a bit of it, don't we? We see them, don't we? It didn't look like... I'm pretty sure we see them in the movie. It didn't look like Palpatino, did it? Didn't look like Emperor Palpatino. So, what? I'm just trying to wrap my head around this total nonsense. And this is the thing. You know, again, this stuff here, this just is like literally, yeah, there's souls in the Star Wars universe. Doesn't make any sense, though. We've not thought about the mechanics behind it. We just think it's cool. So here you go. Boom. And I know people will always jump at it. Well, Dark Empire did all this. And yes, they did. Yes, they did. But, you know, this is something which Disney have just stolen from them. So if you really like Dark Empire and you're using this to justify it, I wouldn't, because Disney have just stolen this idea. I doubt the writer, Tony, I think it is, of Dark Empire has got any royalties for them stealing his ideas. But anyway, I thought I'd do a video on this because it is just total nonsense. It's Disney and Lucasfilm admitting that they don't know what they're doing. And I thought it would be interesting. It's just more and more reveals of their complete fuckery, I guess. So let me know down below in the comments what you think. If you are new here, do hit subscribe. Stay up to date on the world of pop culture and movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Please do give me a follow over on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. H Reviews. You can keep up to date on all of my stuff over there. Videos are not really being posted in notifications to you guys anymore, so I'm just going to start sharing them over on Twitter. So please do follow me over there. And you can also get my first reactions to movies that I watch. I did a review of First Love by Takashi Mike, and my reaction is over there, along with all the movies that I see in theatres. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been Mr. H. Take care.